It's Nala. Welcome to Exhale with Nala. I'm on the bed because I want to invite you into the daily routine that I have no matter where I am, no matter where I go. It's brief, um, it's purposeful, and it's beneficial. Okay? So notice the title is You Need to Breathe Before You Start Your Day. And what I mean by start your day is before we go out into the world and we start people and we start exchanging energy, listening to people and all that stuff, we need time to listen to ourselves. We need time to connect with the guide within, the inner wisdom. Okay, that's what I like to do. Sometimes I have longer sessions, sometimes I get as much as 2 minutes because the day is just moving fast and I didn't wake up early enough. We're in Colombia, so I'm moving at my own time and my own pace. All right, so get into a comfortable position with me. We're gonna do some diaphragmatic breaths. Notice that I'm sitting sideways because I want you to see my belly and my chest. I want you to see both because we are going to breathe from the belly, and you'll notice that when I inhale with the focus of coming from the depths of my belly, the last time I gave the visualization of imagining the roots of a plant, the plants that give us oxygen, like trees. Imagine breathing from a tree trunk that low, that deep, and imagine it traveling up just like this, and then reaching your head, giving your head oxygen. So if you can visualize that as you are breathing, that'll be great. Also notice, like I said, how the body will grow and then how it will fall. It'll expand and it'll collapse. Okay? It'll go out, then go in. Okay? Ebb and flow, ebb and flow, ebb and flow. All right, let's do it. On the count of three, we'll inhale. Let's just get all the air that we can get, and then as you already know, the exhale will be nice and slow. All right, on the count of three, 1, 2, then inhale, exhale, did you notice that? Did you see that? Did you see it and then contract? Let's do it again. On the count of three, 1, 2, 3, inhale, the difference between that kind of breath and the chest breath, this is what chest breathing looks like. You see how shallow it is? Like, it actually sounds like I might be on the verge of a panic attack. And honestly, this is how, on average, we breathe throughout the day. We breathe with shallow breaths that we're not even getting the full oxygen that we really could benefit from, that our brain could benefit from, and our nervous system. And that's the reason why I always like to encourage that deep breathing, that belly breathing. It does take practice, so, do what you need to do as far as giving yourself time. Let's get a 360 for the live. Thank you. A 360. You want to see the... I can show you how the balcony after. Are you breathing with me? You need to be breathing with me. Okay? All right. So, like I said, the difference, shallow versus deep. Shallow looks like this. Even the pace, right? The rate. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay? I mean, it feels so good. It feels so good. It's crazy because, we walk around like our head is cut off from our body, so we don't really notice the breath, the quality of breath that we're missing until we make it a practice. And that's why I'm here on live with y'all today, because I want y'all to come in, tap in with me, okay? At the end of the day, this is a collective, okay? Like, I want us to build community together, learn from each other, and all that stuff. So we've done our breathing. Now we we move on to some movement. So I always love to engage my neck. You know, our neck works so hard for us, holding up that big old head. So I just take my time bringing my head to all four corners. I give it a bow, chin to chest, head to right shoulder, open my throat, chin lifted, bring the left ear to the left shoulder. And I do that a few times, and I continue to engage my breath. Notice I'm not like swiveling my head around. I just don't like it. What does it say? Full breath is very much needed. Right, a full breath is needed, right? A full breath for a full mind, for clarity, okay? Thank you for that. So notice I'm not like swiveling my head around, because sometimes that can be too quick and it can be too shocking to the neck if we're not being careful about the weight, how we're carrying the weight, how we're managing the weight. So we need to be, mindful of that, careful of that. I have 1 minute, coins and animal. I don't know what that means. So we need to be mindful of how we are shifting our weight around, okay? Now we can move into some seated cat-cows. What does that look like? Same thing, but we're just on our bottom. So we are going to still cave our body. So notice I begin to grow a hunch in my back like a scared cat. My chin is tucked. My gaze is down. For my exhale, then my inhale, I grow tall. I open up. My chest is high. This is great for a heart opener. My chin is lifted, and we'll do that a few times. I really love allowing my breath to guide this movement. That is the key of vinyasa. Vinyasa is breath to movement. It's like one band, one sound, one breath, one movement. That is vinyasa, which is what I'm certified in. That's the kind of yoga tradition I'm certified in. We have the option of bringing the arms. My favorite part. We're opening, blossoming like a flower. Exhale, we're drawing back like it's winter. Spring, winter, spring, winter, spring, winter. And then we can pause here. Both hands are on the opposite shoulders. Here I like to sway side to side. Caress myself, let my head, my chin find a little pocket on my body. Maybe lean it on my shoulder. What does it feel like to hold yourself? To rock yourself like you would a loved one. Maybe like you would rock a baby or a boo. Or someone you haven't seen in a very long time. And you're just wanting them to know how much you miss them and how much you care for them and how much you love them. You want them to know that you're here for them. This is what is communicated to ourselves when we do this with ourselves. And on your exhale, you can release. Lastly, I love to do a supine twist. A supine twist. What does that look like? Oh, sorry, second to last. That's not lastly. What is the supine twist, you say? Well, we go flat all the way on our back. We hug one knee in. We guide it to the left side. We bring our arms out to a T. And we turn our head the opposite direction of our knee. Then we switch. Opposite knee hugged into the chest, guide it to the right side, arms out to a T, head in the opposite direction of my knee. This supine twists are great if you experience any lower back pain, or if you just need like full grounding, like if you are spiraling, or maybe you are out of breath, or maybe you feel like you need like a detox. Like literally the position of putting your body into a twist fully laid out is great for that. It I'm telling you, it works wonders. I've put my clients in that position and they've been like, whoa. And yeah. Now, this is the last one. Hip opener. So we'll get on top of our knees. We'll extend them out. You know, all of us will be at different levels of depth of being able to hover our hips, you know, as our knees are out wide. So so basically you can start in tabletop, and then you can extend your knees all the way out. So place your knees all the way out so they can be as wide as possible. You're going to drop down to your forearms, just like this. I like to extend my arms out all the way, as you can see. And then also, I like to lift my feet up. I think it's kind of weird that I do that. I don't know why I do that, but yeah. And then you can go forward and backward. Remember breathing again. Exhale, contraction, inhale, expansion. All right, then we'll come back up. I like to end it. Again, some deep breaths. And I also like to, if I have the time, to visualize what I want the day to be like. You know, what are the faces that I'll see if it is somewhere that is like work or a place of routine. What kind of energy do I want to accept? What kind of energy do I want to give out? What kind of moments do I want to share with people? Especially if it's like a new place, like where I'm at. Because it's a new place, I love to have a moment to meditate and put out my vision of what I see the day to be. So I won't do that here, but I definitely encourage you to do that at home. Imagine what you want the day to be. That is an engaging meditation. So we'll just end it with a few deep breaths. Again. I noticed that I was clenching my leg and my thigh, and on that exhale, I released it. And that's something that as you continue your own practice, you'll notice those subtleties. You'll notice those little those little subtle moments in your body where you are holding tension, where you are clenching, where you are bracing yourself. And that exhale, welcoming that exhale, tells your body that it is okay to relax. There's nothing that we need to brace ourselves for. There's nothing that we need to protect ourselves from in regards to like severe danger. If there is, then obviously get the help that you need. Reach out to those that you can trust. And if there isn't anyone you feel like you can trust around you, go to a professional. But we're talking about the wars in our mind, you know, the things that can hold us hostage in the present that doesn't need to. So that's what I mean when I say when we invite an exhale, it helps reset the nervous system. It communicates to the nervous system that, hey, babe, we don't need to brace ourselves because I'm no longer there, or there's nothing that is an actual threat to my physical safety, my mental or emotional safety. There could be things I'm preparing for that may be, you know, just like your normal stresses of the day that I feel like, you know, gives me anxiety and I need to prepare myself for. But keeping the nervous system in a constant state of hypervigilance or fight or flight ultimately is not good for our health. It can lead to chronic health issues. I'm not going to go on a tangent. Take this one last breath with me before I show you my balcony. All right? On the count of 3, we'll inhale. 1, 2, 3. Breathing from the diaphragm. One more inhale. Soak up the air. Exhale. Sigh it out. Let the shoulders melt. Release the tension from the thigh. Shake it all about. Let it go. And find your joy. Create your joy. All right. Let's go. Thank you for practicing with me. Let me show you my balcony as I promised. This is the balcony. So yeah, that was the balcony, y'all. Yeah, and as you continue your day, check in with your breath. Notice, you know, how the rhythm is, and ask yourself, could I benefit from taking a deeper breath? Could I benefit from having a slower exhale? Could I benefit from going to the bathroom and doing a few rounds of deep diaphragmatic breathing? You never know. My lip. Yeah, so you'll notice that as you continue this practice, starting your day with diaphragmatic breaths totally changes the way that you breathe throughout the day. And it's because you become more conscious and aware of your body, the energy in your body. Long story short. Okay. On that note, have a beautiful day, baby. See you next time on Exhale with Nala. Peace.